Guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to remove these bad boys. I've had them on for quite some time. I've done a lot of housework, a lot of construction on my house. By construction, I mean like painting and stuff. So I definitely want to get these gone and reshape them to my norm. You guys know, so let's go ahead and take these off. Grab your dust collector. I don't care what kind it is, just grab one because you definitely want to save yourself, and grab a mask. I'm using a medium bit because all I'm doing is taking off the gel polish and a little bit of the gel I have underneath. Alright, going to dust them off to see what we are working with. I'm gonna get a little bit more aggressive here. So, you can see these nails have had better days. I did so much over the holiday season. They're a mess, okay? And this is what I want them to look like. So let's fix them. I'm going to go into prep now. I'm going to take these two tools by Navy Pro Tools. This is just a cuticle pusher, and then this is essentially a sharp blade that I will push against my nail plate very flat and get anything off the nail plate that I have to. But first, I'm going to push back. And you will notice I am very flat to my nail. I'm not pushing hard, I'm just gliding it across. So I'm just pushing back, down, and then when I go down the side, I like to push it towards the outside while I push back. So that's going to relieve anything that's super tight down there. Now again, I'm going to grab this tool, which is super sharp, so be careful. Do not go hard with this. You want to lay it. So you're gonna wanna lay it flat, and I mean flat. Let's see. See how flat I am? I mean, I am not lifting this guy, and you can see he's already lifting a bunch of stuff, but I am not lifting him up. I'm just almost doing circular motions, because what I wanna do is get that cuticle that is stuck to the nail plate off without damaging. If you go in like this, you will damage, so flat. And then gentle pushes. Actually had to go help my husband with something, so all I did was take down my nails real quickly, nothing too fancy. I'm gonna come in with a cuticle bit. I'm going to do it on reverse first and then come in with a forward motion. Go ahead and take off that dust. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a buffer. This is a 180, 280, yeah, 180, 280. I'm taking the rougher side and I'm going to go right along that new growth. And what that is doing is removing the shine from the new growth. Okay. I'm going to put some alcohol or cleanser, whatever you want to use. It's on the brush. Now I'm going to go over my nails to get any of the dust that is in there. Okay, we are all prepped and we are ready to get started. Take whatever enhancement you want to use. I like nail forms personally, but again, take what you are comfortable with. A lot of people use tips. If you want to use tips, absolutely do that. Just use what makes you comfortable. So I like to put that little centerpiece on the bottom. I'm going to cut the little triangle so when I fold, it gives me a little bit easier of a going under the nail. I just like to pop that corner in. And this is where that magic happens. By cutting those corners, you are able to get right under your nail without any problem. There we go. It's super flat to that nail form. You can see now where you're going to build out that little extension. I'm going to take Young Nails Protein Bond. I'm gonna apply it to the new growth area and then anything that had lifting. I'm gonna take Gelish foundation because I like a soak-off base under my hard gel. So I like to get most of it off the brush and then push back towards that cuticle and come down the sides. And I like to kind of maneuver it on the nail plate so it's really getting into the buffed areas so it'll stick. I'm going to take natural fiber from Light Elegance. Any builder gel will do. I just like this one because it has fiberglass in it. Okay, so since we have that base down, what I'm gonna do is put my bead down and walk it down the left and right side. Again, on this side. And since I still have natural nails on and artificial nails, it's not going to need a lot of this gel. Okay. Once I kind of have that base down, I like to pull back because this is essentially connecting the new and older gel. All right, I want to add a little bit more here towards the tip. I did do a flash cure on that, but I am trying to fix my nail here. So I think adding a second layer to that tip will benefit me here. So I like to release my forms by pinching, pulling down, and then I like to push a little bit down the side to create that nice C curve, and then gonna finish curing. So that step would have been a nice thin base, do a flash cure for 5-10 seconds. I came in because I wanted this to be a little bit more thick because when I fix my nail, I want to be able to carve it out correctly and have my apex in the correct way and just how I like to wear my nails in general. So I gave that another 5 to 10 seconds. I did a little pinch. You can use your hands, especially if you have gloves. I would recommend doing that over naked nails, but I didn't have my gloves next to me, so I digress. And then I went in for a full cure. So this has now been fully cured. I like to do all of these steps before moving on to the full build out. So what I'm gonna do is repeat this on all of the nails. All right, I realized how long this video is gonna take, so I went ahead and did not record the last couple nails. So now we're going to take off the inhibition layer, which is the sticky part of the uncured gel on your nails, which is super normal. Do not freak out. It's exactly what's supposed to happen. And remember, these are super thin. Even though I'm using a base that is a little bit more conducive to being rough, but you want to be careful so you don't accidentally snap it off your natural nail. So with filing, I like to bring up the sidewall straight. So I'm gonna bring it up and you can see the sidewall is now straight. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. See how it's like overhanging? Let's see. See how it's overhanging here? So what I'm gonna do is bring it up. And that was easy because it was not that much. And I like to, also, I'm trying to get it in frame for the camera, is to make these flat as well. So this lays down our groundwork to creating that almond nail. So I like to give it a little bit of a trim here. Perfect. It's a little bit longer, which is exactly what I want. So the trick for an almond nail is, so I'm flat. I have the nail file flat. And let's see if I can show you. Let me turn this down. So I have it flat, and what I'm doing is angling my nail forward. So we are taking off essentially the square points. So you can see it looks definitely a lot different, well, than that bad boy, but you can see, oh, that looks really funny because we haven't shaped it yet, but you can see we're already going towards that almond nail. So I like to bring it down the side here and then bring it down the side here. And I go back and forth until I feel like I reached my point. Again, taking it from a million different angles. Okay. So that side was built up a little bit more than the other side, so I wanted to flatten it out. And keep in mind, most of this can be finished after you apply your full gel. Now mine are stained for my jeans at this point, but you kind of get the point where we're going. So I'm just doing a rough shape. So when we apply the pink, the full builder gel, we'll be able to have the shape at least in the general idea. I went ahead and finished filing off camera. Now comes the good part. We are going to add our builder gel. Go ahead and grab a little bit for your slip layer, and I'm going to again put down most of it because we don't want a ton on our brush when we go back to the cuticle. So now I can take my brush and work it back by pushing down and then pulling down. So push back, pull forward. And then that allows me to get the gel back towards that cuticle area and then pull it forward so we don't have a ton of pooling by our cuticle. Grabbed a bigger bead. You can see it's quite a larger bead, and I'm going to kind of have my nail angled down. So this is flat, this is down. So I place it in the back third. I have not pushed down. Now, once it's there, I am pushing down ever so slightly. See how my nail is still angled down? And I'm coming down the sides, always having contact with the gel, because when you lift up does not mean you can't lift up, but generally speaking, when you fully lift up or let's say disconnect from the gel, you could introduce air bubbles. Not always, but sometimes. Pulling it down. Okay, and I like to go over that free edge so that gel will go all the way down. I like to flip my nail upside down, and that will bring all the gel back to the middle, and I angle it slightly up now. So I'm pushing it back, letting gravity do its thing. And then I'm going to take a look, see what we're missing here, if anything. A little bit of waviness there. Okay, now flip it upside down. It would have been much easier had I had this guy out, so I'm going to grab him. And since I tend to have deeper sidewalls, it tends to be a little bit harder for me to get in there with a brush. So I'm moving that gel down the sidewall, okay? Now I'm going to put it up so that gel moves back to that third and then upside down. And once that is level, which is almost there, I'm gonna immediately put it in the light. All right, so that is fully cured. Let's bring it to the side. Let me see how I can get there. There we go. So we have our arch, and then there's a little bit of pooling gel right here. So you can see it's not a full easy arch, kind of how this finger is, but that's easy to file. You just take your file vertically, which I will show you, and that will be gone like instantly. But you can see we are super smooth down all these sides here. So by doing that, you are eliminating all the extra filing you have to do. You just have to lightly go over that. So I like to just take a lint-free cloth. I say lint-free because these aren't really. And that gets rid of the inhibition layer, which we had talked about is your sticky layer. And then I move on. So just so that's just not sticky. And let's do the next one. Okay, we have our first layer, which I call the slip layer. Take most of it off, push back, walk it down the side. And you guys see I mostly go towards that middle area. And I do have thicker sidewalls here. It just always has been that way. So that's why I usually have out one of these little striping brushes so I can essentially clear my puffy little sidewalls. Okay. Perfect. Now we are going to grab our bead. You're not gonna need as thick of a bead here because we have a smaller nail. But again, I'm holding the nail down, back third, and I kind of like to squish it a little bit, and that kind of distributes it towards that cuticle area and the sidewall. And you can see I'm rotating mostly my hand here because this is my dominant hand that I am painting, or I should say that I am adding the gel to. Always go over that free edge. Okay, plop it upside down. see what we're working with. Not too bad. Again, give it a second, kind of come up a little bit. So we're bringing that gel back again. I wish I could show this to you guys, but I don't have a second camera. Okay. You can see we brought that in just a little bit, but I will take care of that little bulging area when I file. But pretty good. Okay, grab a file, and like I said, especially with this guy, like, I mean, right? How easy is that? So I just like to firm up my edges and then pull the cuticle back. The 100-180, I'm taking the smoother side and coming around that edge. You should not need an e-file for this. However, you can. I just try to do the best application I can. So when it comes to filing this part, I don't have to use an e-file. All right, I filed and buffed and took off the dust, and this is what I'm left with. So I am gonna go in with a design, so I didn't want to top coat them, but yeah, you can see we have that nice arch here. I guess maybe this might be easier to see. And when I do put my gel polish in, I will refine it a little bit more, but I did want to show you what I'm working with. So, all right, thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.